Come to order. This is case number 623191. Is that correct?
That's
Yes,
correct, Your
sir.
Honor.
We have State of Texas versus, what's his first name?
John Henry Paez.
That's two names.
John Anthony Paez.
John Henry.
John Henry.
Yes, sir.
Henri
Yes, sir.
Paez.
Yes.
And what is the charge, folks?
Evading arrest or detention, sir.
And the allegation says when did that occur?
Alleged to have occurred September 14th of 2019.
All right. And this is a plea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Paez, if you will raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Mr. Paez, before we proceed, there's several things that I will discuss with you. Orally, verbally, you and I will discuss, and I'll get responses from you. They're also going to be repeated in writing. I will ask you questions concerning the written documents that it's my impression you have reviewed and you have signed. So, first of all, you have a constitutional right to remain silent, meaning you do not have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer any questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature, especially any papers that have an admission or confession to wrongdoing. Do you understand you have those rights?
Yes, sir.
And are you willing to give those rights up?
Yes.
You also have several other important rights, also including the right to a jury trial. You have the right to a jury trial, meaning that 6 people would be selected from the community and they would decide whether you're guilty or not. You're also, by entering a plea today, you're giving up that right to a jury trial.
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to confront any witnesses or accusers that will testify.
Yes.
You and your attorney could ask questions, challenge, cross-examine any witness who would testify. You also have the right to appeal. That right means that you and your attorney, or you by yourself or him by himself, could ask a higher court to review the official record of this proceeding and make whatever challenges you wanted to. The record is being prepared by Ms. Kayleen Rivera, our court reporter. All those rights you're giving up by entering a plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're doing that voluntarily and freely?
Yes.
All right. You also have the right to have this proceeding in public open court. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing that. We're doing it by video conference. Do you wish to have this done in court, or are you willing to waive that particular right and agree to do it on video conference?
I'll agree to a video conference.
All right. Now, it is being put on YouTube, which makes it public. Anyone that wants to tune in can do so. They'll see all of us participants, they'll see you, and they'll hear and see whatever documents or materials are submitted.
I'm gonna try to get some.
You have all these rights that you've given up. They're going to be repeated in writing, and I believe you already looked at them. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Patricia, if you'll start with the documents, please. The state also has a right to have this in public court, and they have agreed to this hearing in by video conference. The document I'm showing you, first of all, I'm going to start with pointing out to you that all the documents with one or two exceptions have that information up at the top.
Correct.
It's identifying information. It starts off with cause number 623191, the state of Texas versus John Henry Paez, and it is in the county court at law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. This document in particular is the one wherein the state consents to video conference on this proceeding. It is signed by Andrew Harris Edelman, the assistant district attorney in this court. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next document is a document that I believe is titled Discovery.
Yes.
That document has again the introductory information at the top. Then the title of this one is Discovery Acknowledgement. We have a law, Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, that requires the state to give you and your attorney access to all evidence and materials that are necessary for you to make a educated and sensible decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you see this document that the attorneys, your attorney and the state's attorney, both have signed agreeing that that law has been complied with?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this next document is called Defendant's Consent to Video Conference. I talked to you about that a while ago. You responded that you're giving up the right to have this in public court. And this is a written document wherein you have signed agreeing to a video conference. Did you see and
Yes.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we're going to have some documents that you may have not have signed for technical reasons or otherwise. They'll have to be presented to you and for your signature. We're now going to show you a document that's titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. Did you review this document carefully with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have signed it?
Yes.
All right. This particular document starts off with 3 sentences. These are you talking to the world and to me. You start off saying, hey, I don't need you to read to me the written documents that officially accuse me of this crime. Then you say, I understand specifically that I am charged with evade, arrest, or detention. Then the third sentence says, I hereby enter a plea of nolo contendere, that is no contest, to the allegation of evade, arrest, or detention. Did you in fact do those 3 things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The rest of this document, all of it is important. It is divided into 15 numbered sections or divisions. This first one, I'll point out to you, is the range of punishment for different offenses. Each one has a little square. They're all lined up vertically. But the one that's marked by you and your attorney says this is a Class A misdemeanor. And the range of punishment is a fine from $0 to $4,000 and 0 days to 1 year in jail. Did you see and understand that information?
Yes, sir.
Number 2 talks about your rights again. Again, this is in writing. Jury trial, cross-examination of witnesses, right to remain silent. You're freely and voluntarily giving those up. This document says you're doing that, and you've signed this document. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had mental health issues or problems?
Yes, sir.
And what was that, sir?
I see a psychiatrist in the world for bipolar, depression, PTSD, anxiety, schizophrenic, but I am on meds.
And do those meds currently, today, are you on those meds?
Yes, sir.
And do they affect your ability to understand information?
No, sir.
All right. Number 4 talks about nolo contendere. It says that you actually decided it's in your best interest to plead nolo contendere after you reviewed the evidence, information, and the advice of your attorney. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever been involved in the sex offender registration program?
No, sir.
All right, good. Number 6, did you see and understand it? We're talking about the fact that you made a deal with the state, but that ain't made with me. I'm the one as a judge that has the authority and responsibility to decide if I'll approve your deal or if I want to give you a heavier punishment than what you're getting.
Correct.
If I reject your deal, or if I give you a punishment within the proper range, but greater than what you agreed to, then the law would allow you to withdraw your plea and start all over again, and nothing you've said or signed would be used against you. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I give you the punishment you agreed to or less, then you will not have a right of appeal unless you have had motions filed and ruled on prior to this hearing. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are a U.S. citizen, you told me.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 9. All right, 9 does not apply to you because this is not a family law case or a violence case. Did you review and understand the rest of this document?
Yes.
By signing this document, also you waiving the right in number 15 particularly, it says that you have the right to ask that I have a risk and needs assessment performed on you before we decide the punishment. It's my impression that you will sign this document with the understanding that you know and freely waive the right to a risk and needs assessment.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This document now in front of you, the next one is again with introductory information. This one is where I declare or certify to you the defendant's right of appeal. There again, these are a bunch of little boxes stacked up vertically in line regarding each one says something different or a different approach to the right of appeal. I am checking off the 5th box. 1,
Correct.
2, 3, 4, 5. That one tells you I am certifying to you this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okie doke. The next document has to do with applying for, well, you're not applying for probation. This is a JSAT?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's
Okay,
intended to be, sir.
okie doke. Then what we should have next is a plea agreement document. Did you go over this plea agreement document with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so just so you know and understand, the first 2 boxes I will be marking, wherein we're talking about that I have, we have discussed your constitutional rights and protections, and particularly the right to remain silent. Then I am marking on there that you are a U.S. citizen. The next section is Defendants Acknowledgements. That's you saying, yes, I know and understand these 5 things that are behind each box. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, to the charge of evading arrest, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Okay. As I told you before, a no contest plea is considered by me as a guilty plea, and it is sufficient for me to convict you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Scroll. Based on your plea of no contest, I find you guilty, and you are sentenced to 62 days Bexar County Jail, a fine of $0 in court costs. You are granted credit for time served, time and money to run concurrently. It is the court's finding that you have completed and complied with this judgment and that the judgment is satisfied. Therefore, you owe nothing further to the state or to this court on this particular charge. And that should release you on this charge. Any questions, Mr. Morris?
No, Judge, he has a MTR also
Okay,
pending.
in this court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
And it's my understanding,
Mr. Edelman, on this particular case, any question?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll go, are we ready to proceed on the second case?
There
Yes, Your
will
Honor.
be no need for that, Your Honor, on the MTR. I have signed a motion to withdraw. That should be sent to the court soon. And we would ask the court to terminate Mr. Baez's supervision unsatisfactorily.
Mr. Morris, is that an agreement by the defense?
yes, it is, Your Honor.
Therefore, there is no objection to the motion by the state to withdraw its motion to revoke probation.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, there being no objection, then the court grants the motion to withdraw the motion to revoke, and the court terminates the probation unsatisfactory. Questions, Mr. Edelman,
Nothing from the state, sir.
Mr. Morris?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Paez, how old are you?
34.
You got any children?
Yes, sir.
How many?
I've got 5.
What are their ages, Mr. Paez?
21, 18, 16, 4, and 28. They're my
See,
stepkids, but they're my kids,
Okay, well, I was gonna say, yeah.
except my 8-year-old.
All right, Mr. Paez, I'm gonna share this thought with you. I hope it has some impact, or it makes you at least think about it. The kind of life your children will live depends on the love and caring you and their mother give them. And a big part of that is the example that you show them, okay? So I hope you keep that in mind, because you'll have a lot of impact on these children. You probably already had a lot of impact, and on the littler ones, even more so. Keep that in mind. I'm sure you've seen little kids that walk around with their father, and they walk just like the father. They talk and squawk just like the father. You're no exception. They'll do that with you too. So keep that in mind. I hope you live a better life than you've shown here, and that things get better for you overall and for your family.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Paez, Mr. Morris, subject to getting these documents